Hello. The biggest thing that I learned from today's presentation is that different ways to be successful, as in how to impact in different conversations and be impactful in everywhere you go and around the world, and different experiences and different kinds of people that you meet. And this showed me basically, how to react, to people's actions, and how to basically take situations and just make it uplifting for everyone, around me, and just to help bring people more together and be more focused on what the main goal is.
Whenever
I thought his seminar today was actually like amazing because it was actually learning something new, something that you definitely don't learn in the classroom. And it also showed me that communication has so many paths and so many like avenues and boulevards, and it's just like it's amazing the fact that questions are very powerful and you should question everything, especially that's what some of our teachers tell us, but not all of our teachers tell us. So to question everything, and it's not what you say, is how you say it. So I think that message really across from me, and I took a lot of great notes. So I really do hope he comes back, and I think that's one of the best seminars I've ever seen so far. So thank you so much for coming.
Okay. I was paying attention to the speech the whole time, and he kept his energy up the whole time. And one thing I learned is you never want to ask questions that you're not going to get the answer you want to. So he taught me to psychologically think about my question before I ask it. And originally, I'm not a confrontational type of guy, so I don't like to argue. So that just helped me even more when it comes to trying to get somebody to understand my point of view. So I really enjoyed it.
I would definitely recommend this for upcoming freshmen for next year and for future scholars, people who want to get into speaking properly. And I think that one thing I would take away from this is how to hold a conversation properly, especially in the business world and just looking for jobs. I think this will really help, and I recommend it for upcoming people who are pursuing the same interests.
I like the fact that he was talking to us instead of talking at us, because I realized a lot of people when they kind of like try to force their way on you, and it was more of like, this is what I want to help you guys with, but you don't have to listen to me, and if you do take this from me, it's something that we wanted to do. So it's like, we're going to engage if we wanted to engage, and we did engage, and we actually wanted to learn more. And like, he has a way of grabbing your attention without asking for your attention, and I like that about the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that it was absolutely profound that he came in with his own energy and kept his energy up the entire time. No matter whether it was a low energy response or a high energy response, he not only kept his energy high, but he made you want to listen if you had a mind to learn.
would you come back again?
Yes, sir.
If he was on
Absolutely.
campus?
I'd come back tomorrow and Thursday or any other day he wanted me to come to. I feel that this is the cutting edge that's going to allow me to persevere in whatever climate or business atmosphere I find myself in.
You think it would help you with like a job interview and stuff like that?
Oh, yes. Not just a job interview, but like,
It's like we're not getting this in classrooms, so it's like everybody has that little bit of curiosity, but nobody like wants to ask the questions or don't know how to go about it. So it's like when you find someone who wants to give it to you, or you find someone who's genuine about it, it's like you latch onto it. And I like that he gave us something that we couldn't find in the classroom. Like, I wouldn't know from this day who to go to, and then now I do know. Like, I would never question, okay, well, it was the smallest thing, like leaving an interview without asking those questions. It's just like, I learned that from him rather than my professor or someone who signed me into this school, or somebody that I was writing a paper for to get a scholarship. Like, I'm not learning that from them, but I learned that from somebody from London that I just met. Like, it was amazing.
yeah. I feel that everyone who comes to a university or an institution of learning and invests in their education to get a cutting edge advantage on a competitive job market. Not only a competitive job market, but a competitive climate. So to have someone like that come, even from overseas like London, and give us every little tidbit that we will need to succeed in this competitive world, I mean, to say that it's invaluable is an understatement. I sincerely wish that every institution could have a gentleman like that at the very beginning of orientation, give us what we need to be successful.
Thank you guys for giving me that.
not a
Thank you
problem.
very much. Have a good rest of your day. Okay,
Yes, sir.
guys?
Thank you.
My name is Denise Kimberly, and I'm a student at Bethune University. My major is criminal justice.
Jamie.
Mr. J, we shared some very useful information today that I can use in the future, and I want to say thank you. You're welcome.
My name is Brianna Alvin. I'm a senior at Bethune-Cookman, and I love that he kept the audience attention, kept us focused, and he engaged with us. And I really admire the questions you gave us for the interview tips. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also,
Wonderful.
we would like to keep in contact with you. There are
Okay. What I've done is I've created, to keep in contact with me if that's something that you want, the best way I've done it is, I was thinking of just giving you a website where you go in and you can put your information. I tell you what I'm going to do for you, right? I'm giving my cell phone out. Obviously, if I give my cell phone out to 300 people, I'm going to have a hard time getting back to everyone. If I do emails though, it's also very difficult because sometimes if it went to junk or spam or something of that nature, I don't ever want to feel like I've let you down. So I'm going to give myself an insurance policy. One, I'm giving you my number, all right, so you have that for any questions. It's 407 620 7862. Now, here's the deal. Dr. Moat, I call him Earl, sorry, all right, he's someone who, obviously, he's big on to helping you all out too, all right? If you ever struggle getting in touch with me, you've got my cell phone now, all right, 407-620-7862. If I don't get back to you, then I've really let the side down, and I hope I come across I'm not prepared to do that, all right? Here's what I'm going to ask of you, though. Can we only make it directed towards communication skills and things like that? I've got my own kids, all right, and I can barely deal with them, all right, and their issues that are going on in their lives, okay? So I'll be as helpful as I can be in any situation, but let's restrict it to communication and language skills. You're going for a job, you're having an argument with a loved one, you know what I mean? Like, how do you get the best out of that situation? What was that question again? Things like that, I will gladly help you guys out with.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jamaica Ramsey.
Jamaica. If you guys, since you are over here, if you don't mind, you can gladly just share just a tidbit, just like these fine people did for me, where it's just one sentence where what you're sharing is just, hey, this was one of the best ones we've done, or whatever. If it's the worst one you did, you wouldn't be standing here because all right. What's your first one? Okay, well, I hope that all the future ones you ever watch, you're like, man, it's not the same. So, any questions?
Do you offer one-on-one?
Do I offer one-on-one? Well, technically, by giving you my cell phone, I've kind of done that. Okay. Yeah, so I want you to understand, by the way, I expect this to go way over your heads. I've invested thousands of dollars, and I've had companies invest thousands of dollars in the information that I've taught you here today. That's just the truth of it. Yeah.
What made you want to get deeper into understanding?
Come closer, mate. Don't be shy.
When did you feel like you perfected the communication? When did you feel like you perfected communication in order to share the information that you did?
Okay, it's like if you ever followed boxing, this is the analogy I'll use. Actually, if you want to share stuff on that, if you want to, you're listening in, you want to understand this too. Okay. If you ever, I'm going to ask all of you that have stayed here, by the way, that you're all 100% going to do just a small clip for me, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've watched boxing, so the only way I know to express it is when I was going through training for boxing, the guy was an Argentinian guy, and he'd been doing it since he was 13 years old. And I'm in there sparring with him, and he's looking at my shoulders, all right? Because that's the way he knows what's coming next. It's not the amateur is watching everything, all right, and not seeing anything. A professional knows when something's coming, when something's being faked, okay? With regard to communication, I've got myself to a place now where if anyone asks me a question, I'm going to ask them a question straight back. So I did this with Jeff in the car on the way here. I'm like, Jeff, ask me a question. How long you been doing this? And I said, is it important for you to know that? And he goes, no. He said no. And here's the truth. Because he said no, I don't have to now continue with that discussion. It's a wasted discussion. But you wouldn't believe how many people out there in the world will have wasted discussions. Someone will throw a question to you. If you don't ask, is it important? You now might be focusing and having a conversation that's way long-winded on something that you really didn't need to address. It wasn't even a problem. Honey, I'm feeling really terrible today. You know what I mean? Like, well, is there something I can do for you? No? Okay, you know what I mean? Like, you get on with, like, it's not... Oh, this is a great one. You ever had a relationship where you turn around to someone, they say to you, hey honey, let's go out to eat tonight. And I'm like, great. She goes, you select the place. I'm like, Mexican, no. Italian, no. Chinese, no. All right, you go through all the things and you're like, I don't know. Like, what, like, where do you want to go? Like, I've suggested everywhere. Here's what I do. So she'll say, hey, let's go out for eat. Like, so let's role play, right? So you say to me, Jamie, let's go out to eat tonight.
Okay, let's go on.
Okay, yeah, where would you want to go? I don't know. Brilliant, this worked perfectly. They say, I don't know. So this is what I'm going to say. I'm not just going to start suggesting places, because she's going to say, no, 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 no. I'm going to say, but if you did know. I'm going to put it right back onto her, but if you did know. All right? And then she's going to say, oh, I really don't know. If your life depended on it. You know what I mean? Like, it now gets Italian. It was Italian the whole time. All right? It just took a few questions to get there. I went into, I'm very blunt, so I just got out for a 4-year relationship, and the lady, she had 2 daughters. One was a teenager, and this teenager and me, talk about trying to step away from and ask the right questions, right? I went into her room and I'm like, Sienna, you really want to make me happy today? She goes, no, I don't. And then I'm like, I just really feel like today of all days was the day you want to make me really, really happy. She goes, well, you read me wrong then, all right? And I'm like, okay, no, but Sienna, it was just something different about today. And she's like, what do you want me to do? All right? Do you understand what do you want me to do? Like, I eventually got there, but it's not that you're going to get there immediately every single time. You just have to stick to the cause. For me, with doing this room, most people, if you go and work in the sales arena, you will learn some of this stuff, maybe. I say maybe because I've been with organizations where they didn't care about training and developing, and I've been with organizations that do. But what I've done is I've chosen that I love the idea that I don't give people something they don't want. All right? So it's all the focus is on what the other person wants. Because too many salespeople get a bad rap, right? Because it's like, this person's a salesman and sales got a negative connotation and they're just going to force me to do something. I don't force anyone to do anything. I'm not forcing you to be here, to come here and ask me questions. I threw it out there that if you want it, I will be here. And now you come as a result of that. But it's a skill that you have to practice. So you have to keep practicing. And remember, if you remember those formulas, as boring as they sound, we are in an educational format. If you can always remember who's ever asking questions, I promise you that will stand you in the greatest stead for any communication you have with anyone going forward. All right? Thank you. Right.
Mr. Miller, I have a question for you. Would you say this technique that you're using is...
What you look for in a guy, all right? And then you share. Go ahead and share. Sorry?
I think they have.
What do you... Okay, but if... Most of the time they won't, right? Most women want the ability to talk, and they want to be listened to. So if I'm saying, hey, what do you look for in a guy? And she's like, you know what, I'm looking for someone who blah, 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 like all these characteristics. Let's say I don't fit one of those characteristics. I'm going to say, let's say she says, I'm looking for a guy who's 6'5", and looks this way and does this and does that, and I don't fit any of them. I'll be like, well, what else is important to you? Right? And then she says, and I did this to Quez on here, right? And she's like, I want someone who's respectful, loyal, works the ground and faithful, all right? And I'm like, oh wow, and because I know what I'm talking about, I'm going to turn around and be like, you know, would you agree that the first things you shared, like looks, like as we get older, they're going to fade? And you're like, yes, yes, all right. So then I go, well, you know, the other things you shared, like the loyal, faithful, worship around a wall, those are more important, right? Because if someone looks really good too, you might be insecure because if they're going out, they might be getting attention that you don't like, so now you've got insecurities. Whereas the person who's just loyal, faithful, what have you, you never question that. So that would be great, right? And then I'm like, well, I don't know about the 6'5" and all this bit, but I'm genuinely looking for a girl where I work around the walk on. Let's go for a coffee. Now it's again, it's not about being pick-up lines, it's about using questions to achieve what you want. Does that make sense? Absolutely. So, any other questions? Go ahead.
Any other? I was gonna ask you. Read books?
Yeah, I've read more books than I don't like reading. I don't like
any authors that just like you're just an author, not like the book. Like I like to
read to help you understand a lot of what I talk today. To understand what I talk today, read Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I haven't
saw that. What?
Dale?
Dale, D-A-L-E, Dale Carnegie.
Yeah,
How to Win Friends. Right. What about Tony Robbins' book, Money, Master the Game? Alright, if you want to help yourselves in stuff that's not going to be taught to you in college, no disrespect to any college out there, right? Read Tony Robbins' Money, Master the Game. If you really are a reader, here's the deal. It's 600 pages, he even shares 98 pages in. If you've read to this point, you've beaten 10%, you're in the top 10% because most people have put it down. But it will teach you strategies that can actually help your pocket. It's actually got an education. Here's what my solid advice I give you. You want something from life? And I tell my kids this. You want something from life? Go and find someone who's achieved it the way you want to achieve it, legally, ethically, morally, and copy them. Because you're taught in schools that copying is a bad thing. Being a copycat is cheating. In the real world, yeah, it's the same way. And that's not telling you like rip off Louis Vuitton and make fake Louis Vuitton and sell them out the back of a truck because it works. I'm telling you, if you want a company and you want to form something for yourself, find someone who's already done it, made all the mistakes, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. Tony Robbins' Money, Master the Game. It's 7 steps or something, but it's the great. Look, you'll get. I felt that was the best educational book I've ever read, where he actually goes to the 50 wealthiest people in the country. And this is what, when you talk about players, look, success is partly monetarily being able to not, but it's not about having money, it's about having the freedom to do the things you want to do. That book will teach you things that you're not taught in a classroom, so that's where it will be helpful to you.
I always thought that knowledge and taking them would be an opportunity.
The only thing I value more than anything else is time. That's it, time to do it. I've just thoroughly enjoyed being in. I was worried at first we came in and there was 5 people in here, and then it was like, and it got cancelled. So it's like, have you all had an opportunity to talk yet? If you can just go and share with Jeff.
I just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate it.
I think
Do you have any business thing? No, but I give my phone number. Oh, have you got my, that's better.
And here's the deal with business cards, by the way. I will teach something. Business cards, typically what happens for them is you get given a business card, you put it in your wallet, you never look at it, and then you clean out your wallet and you throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
All right? That's why I feel that the phone is the best business card on the planet, and the reason being is because with a phone, I can't avoid it, and it's the psychology of when you see that red 1 on a text, you have to get rid of it, so it means you have to look at it. All right, like so. All right, so and I will respond. I promise you, I will respond. Just make it more if it's educational, I'll try and help you as best as I can. All right. Thank you.